Hello friends, Satyendra here, and in this video I'll talk about getting the best cooling effect by any air cooler. I'll talk about Symphony Winter series air coolers, and especially I'll talk about Symphony Winter I air cooler, its functions, key features and about its performance. So let's get started. So first, let's talk about Symphony Winter series air coolers. And there are three similar models available in Symphony Winter series air coolers. The first model is Symphony Winter, which cost around 12,000 rupees. The second model is Symphony Winter XL, which cost around 12,500 rupees. And the third model is Symphony Winter I, which cost around 13,500 rupees. So there is 500 and 1000 rupees difference between these three models. Now these three models, they are almost similar in design, but the basic difference is the first model, which is Symphony Winter, is having normal cooling pad and manually operated. That means it doesn't have remote control functions and it doesn't have honeycomb cooling pad. The second model is Symphony Winter XL, which is also manually operated, but the good thing of this model is it is having honeycomb cooling pad. And the third model is Symphony Winter I, which is having honeycomb cooling pad along with a multi-function remote control. So you can operate this machine from anywhere. Now we all understand manual operation and remote control operation. But what is honeycomb cooling pad? So the honeycomb cooling pad is a specially designed paper cooling pad which looks like honeybee nest, which allows water to flow in a proper channel so that the water doesn't spread here and there, and parallelly have enough space to pass the air through it even it is in completely wet condition. So in traditional cooling pad, the air discharge will be more when the pad is completely dry, but slowly the air discharge start getting reduced when cooling pad is getting wet, because the water flowing on cooling pad blocks all the passages through which the air passes. So to overcome to this problem, the honeycomb pads are specially designed, which will have hexagonal openings in between the pad layers to pass the same amount of air even the pad is in complete wet condition. The honeycomb cooling pad is more efficient to mix air with water compared to normal cooling pad. So the honeycomb cooling pad is the best cooling pad available in the market. Now let's see the overall body design. The body design is similar for all three models. So this is what the honeycomb cooling pad is. Now you can see here the blue cooling pad inside this frame. You can see the round openings in between the pad layers, which allows air to pass easily through it even the pad is in complete wet condition. So this was the honeycomb cooling pad. Now let's move to the front. So this is the whole body structure, and this is the multi-direction wheels for better mobility. And here you have the water inlet opening. You can fill the water through this opening. You can even put the ice cube through this for better cooling effect. And this is the fan area. And in the top you have the control unit. Now this is the compact multifunction remote control, and this is the control unit. Now this is the low water alarm. So the 6 liter water is the reserve for this air cooler, and if water goes below 6 liters, this will blow the alarm. Then you have 3-speed fan, high, medium and low. Then you have cool. So if you switch on this function, then the water will start flowing on cooling pad. This is the power button to switch on or switch off the air cooler. Then you have swing to move the air right and left. Then you have timer. Now here you can set timing from 1 hour to up to 7 hours. So if you set the timer for 2 hours, the machine will switch off automatically after 2 hours. Now let's try these functions through the remote. So I'll first switch on the machine. So machine is switched on now. Now I'll switch on the cooling. So now cooling is on. The water is circulating on cooling pad. Now wait for at least 1 minute and then you start the fan. Let water circulate throughout the cooling pad. Now switch on the fan. Now fan is switched on. Now this is the top speed. You can go for second speed and third speed. You can use swing to move air right and left. Now you have timer, so you can set your desired timing by pressing timer button multiple times. So let's try it. So this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. This is 5 hours, 6 hours, and all put together 7 hours. So this is how we can set the timer. So this was the overall body design and the functions about Symphony Winter I air cooler. Now let's talk about the performance of this air cooler. So this air cooler is very powerful and it can cool up to 20 by 20 square feet hall easily within 15 minutes. The cooler is fan based, not blower based. Air travel more than 10 feet easily. The water consumption of this cooler is 2 liters per hour on high speed and around 1 liter per hour on low speed. So this was all about Symphony Winter I air cooler. A powerful air cooler in very compact design. And I don't see anything missing in this air cooler. Powerful fan, 56 liters water tank, honeycomb cooling pad, and a multifunction remote control. I'm totally impressed with this air cooler. So this is all about Symphony Winter I air cooler. Now let's talk about the key things which we should keep in mind while buying the air cooler. And the first thing is, what is the cooling capacity of air cooler? The air cooler must cool 10 by 10 by 10 cubic feet space at least. The second thing is, what is the tank capacity of air cooler? You should never buy an air cooler which is having below 20 liters tank capacity. And the third thing is, what kind of cooling pad the cooler has. You must buy a cooler which is having honeycomb cooling pad for better cooling efficiency. Now let's talk about getting the best cooling effect by any air cooler. And this is applicable for any air cooler. Now when we talk about the best cooling effect by any air cooler, there are certain things we must know before using the air cooler. And the first thing is, you must have the cross ventilation in your room to get the best cooling effect. Because the air cooler humidify the air and this humid air must go out regularly for best cooling effect. Especially when you are using a big size of air cooler. If in case you don't have cross ventilation in your room, when you are using the air cooler, you will get the worst cooling experience from your air cooler. So you must have cross ventilation. So if your air cooler is standing near to the door, your window must be open. And if your cooler is standing near to the window, your door must be open. So this is how you maintain the cross ventilation. No humid air should stay inside your room for best cooling experience. So this was the most important thing we all must know before using an air cooler. Because I have seen a lot of people complain about their air cooler saying that my air cooler doesn't cool. So this might be the actual reason why your air cooler doesn't cool. You implement the cross ventilation, your air cooler will start working properly. Now the second key thing to get the best cooling effect is your water temperature. Now we all know that the cooling effect of an air cooler totally depends upon dry air and the water temperature. So to get the best cooling effect, your air should be dry and your water temperature should be as low as you can. Now you understand how the air cooler works. So when we start our air cooler, the water starts circulating on cooling pad. The air starts passing through this cooling pad. Now due to this evaporative action, the water temperature decreases continuously. And after some time, you start getting better cooling effect. So if you check the water temperature available in your tank after 15 minutes, you will find that the water temperature is much low compared to the initial water temperature. So by this, water temperature goes down and your cooler start giving the better result. So by understanding this logic, here is my suggestion. If you have big water tank like Winter I, it is having 56 liter of water tank, then you don't fill the complete tank. It will take more time to recirculate the entire water through the cooling pad and reduce the water temperature. If you just put 20 liters of water, which takes 15 minutes to reduce the water temperature, and it will start getting the better cooling effect within 15 minutes. But if you put 50 liters of water at a time, then it will take more time to decrease the water temperature for the air cooler. So either you don't put 50 liters of water at a time in the tank, or if you are putting 50 liters of water at a time in the tank, then add some ice cube to reduce the water temperature immediately, and you will start getting the best cooling effect immediately. So this was the second thing. Now the third and last thing is, don't use air cooler during humid conditions. Like if you have cloudy weather or you are in a place where the climate is humid, you don't use air cooler. Air cooler doesn't perform in this kind of condition. So this was the complete idea about Symphony Winter Series air cooler and the utilization of any air cooler, getting the best result from any air cooler, and I hope this video will be helpful. And please like this video if you believe that video is helpful, and thanks for watching.